Do you think it matters what type of database or data storage organizations use?
Fundamentally, yes. I think if you look at what an organization's trying to do with its applications, they'll have designed their system around what they're trying to achieve, and the database fits into that, and the data storage fits around that. So if you've got a high transactional volume system, you're going to have a data system that's key around that. But it may just purely be relational. It may not look at unstructured data. It may not look at things like social media information from files, audio files, visual files, all of those different types that a completely different system would really want to get to grips with. And in a data platform sense, you've got to contend with all of them. A database is normally for one thing. So it's going to deal with relational data or unstructured data, for instance, depending on NoSQL data, depending on how you do it. But ultimately, a data platform's got to contend with all these different sorts. And then when you look at a higher level from within the business itself, what's it trying to achieve? If it had a real important need to get high transactional data through systems, it's going to look at things like data streaming. It's going to be high volume. It's going to look at things like cost per transaction. The storage may not be a long-term problem because it's in out, but then other companies may be looking purely at the cost side, and the performance may not be as important, but then they're going to look at a lot of data to archive out and do cold storage, for instance, particularly in the cloud side of things as well, where that's critical.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting with databases nowadays, where there's this kind of trend for hyper specialization for databases versus the more general purpose kind of analytics platforms, data platforms. So you're starting to see some of those older sort of databases fall away in favor of much more specialized ones. So that's focusing on like streaming data sets for low latency or unstructured data, document storage and querying, all that kind of things. Become much more specialized.
Definitely. And just taking that point on one further, I think if you look at some of the vector DB side of things, linked in with AI machine learning, that's a prime example of when a new technology comes in and changes the face of what a database would be used for in that space. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely.